Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of season 3 of the SBL. Now, before we get into the battle, as you can see, I have Gorobus on my screen here, and that's because we are going to talk about a quick transaction we made before this battle. Gorobus here was the Mon dropped, and the reason for this is because I was looking at my team and I was figuring, I have way too many special attackers on my team. Like, for the first 2 weeks I was noticing, I am putting way more special attackers on my team than physical. And I figured Gorobus was my most expendable Mon because I was kind of looking at the matchups in the future and I was thinking, I'm not really going to bring Gorobus to any matchups, or I'm not going to be able to build, or I'm not going to be able to get up many shell smashes or any at all. And so yeah, Gorobus was the Mon sacrificed. But in exchange, I noticed this thing was in tier 5, we ended up picking up your boy, Golisopod. Now, Golisopod, what I like about it is it's a physical attacker for one, which is something my team was pretty lacking on. And it's got pretty good defensive stats. I mean, 140 defense, that's useful. And 90 special defense isn't bad, especially if you put an assault vest on it. And yes, it has that horrible, horrible ability of emergency exit, which, if you don't know what that does, is when it hits 50% health, it switches out. But I think I can work around that. And another thing this little bug thing gives me that I didn't have previously is priority, or at least I didn't have a lot of priority options. It has that first impression, which it's a 90 power, like plus 2 or 3 priority bug attack, but it can only be used on the first turn. Oh well. Then it gets stuff like Aqua Jet, Liquidation, Leech Life, Knockoff, probably gets Poison Jab. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and now let's actually go ahead and get on to the battle. Our opponent for this week is Akat, and his new team name, the Akat Autists. I feel like I'm being so offensive for saying that, but that's the team name he wanted, so that's just what we gotta roll with. Alright, Akat hasn't gotten off to the best start this season. He's 0-2 going into this game, and as you can see by his team, it is just as gross as his Season 1 team. Which, speaking of Season 1, that was the last time we played him, and we were able to win that 5-0 off of a Sticky Web Weakness Policy Celebi sweep. Like, actually, Celebi got all 6 skills, so. His team in front of me right now, this is so gross. But let's go ahead and get into it. He's got this Sableye here, which is a Mega Sableye. And we all know what this thing does. It's a magic bouncer, it's really bulky, it's really annoying to take down. As is most of his team. He's got that Slowbro there, which is one of his regenerator Pokemon, which all he's got to do is switch it out, and it's going to be super difficult for him to take down. It's really physically bulky, not so much on the special side, but don't worry about that. He's got that Amoonguss there, which is another regenerator mon. The grass and poison type doesn't have very many weaknesses, it's got great all-around bulk, and this is also super annoying, and it gets the Spore, which is part of the reason why I brought my Tapu Koko here, because if y'all don't know, electric terrain stops a Pokemon from sleeping, if I could words. Okay. He's got that Quagsire there, which can have a couple useful abilities in Water Absorb, which is the less useful of its abilities in this matchup, and Unaware, which means I can't really set up on it without it, like, ruining my entire day. This thing's also pretty bulky, and having only 1 weakness in Grass, which is a 4-ton weakness, that's something I have to keep an eye out for. Got that Ambipom there, which is his fastest Pokemon, and it's faster than everything I brought bar Tapu Koko. Well, it's my entire team bar Tapu Koko. And it's got that Fake Out shenanigans, it's got Technician, you can run like Double Hit, Return, it's got so many interesting moves. And his last mon that he brought is the Audino, which he just picked up right before this game. And it's a normal type, it's only weak to fighting, which, glad I brought Gallade. It's also super bulky. It's his Wish Passer for this week, and it can also be a Cleric. It's super annoying. And yeah, that's the team he brought. Now let me tell you guys what he didn't bring, which is almost as bad. He did not bring Clefable, which I'm very glad about. He didn't bring regular Charizard, which, yeah. Let's see, what else didn't he bring? He didn't have that. Shoot, I'm drawing blanks right now. He didn't bring Goodra, which was his Z Captain, so that's a relief. He didn't bring Zapdos, which I was a little bit worried about, so I'm very glad not to see that. And there was one more thing he didn't bring. I'll think of it later, or he'll probably crucify me in the comments for it. Anywho, let's get on to what we brought. Starting off, we have Nihilego, who's making its season debut for Diancie United. It's running a speed boosting EV spread, so whenever it gets the beast boost, it boosts its speed, which I figured that would probably be useful against the majority of the team. Looking at that monkey there as the reason that I decided to do that. It's got 4 attacks, all are pretty useful. Tapu Koko. I don't exactly remember what spread it was, but it was just meant to outspeed stuff, as I recall. Alright, Mega Gallade. I believe it's just 4 attacks, like max attack, just a semi-standard Mega Gallade. All that fun stuff. Alright, Lando T was pretty much the only Pokemon with some defensive resemblance on my team, as it's a Rocky Helmet Stealth Rock spread. I figure that would be useful against this team in general. I got Hydreigon there, who's Choice Scarf, just your standard Scarf Hydra. And then Moltres have a fun set. I have a Sunny Day set. Yeah, I think it's going to do some stuff. Alright, my plan for this game was pretty much to go pure offense against his pure defense. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the battle. Alright, I lead off with my Lando, which was my original plan, as I expected to lead off with Ambipom, and he's going to get off the Fake Out, which reveals my Rocky Helmet, as I just decided to flinch, so that's okay, and I believe the next turn I get up my Rocks as he switches into Slowbro. And because Slowbro's so slow, that gives me a free opportunity to get off a U-turn, as I'm going to switch this to Slow real quick. And I figure Hydreigon is my best switch, but he predicts me and goes for Ice Beam. I was like, wow, how rude can you be? No, that was actually a good predict on his part. And so obviously he's got to switch out, and he goes into his Audino, excuse me, as do I Dark Pulse or do I U-turn? I Dark Pulse here, okay. It's some nice chip on this Audino as it reveals leftovers. Yeah, I didn't rewatch this battle beforehand, so that's fun. As he goes for a Wish with his Audino, which I think he does nearly every single time, as I get him my Gallade for free, so... And then I pull a double into Tapu Koko, expecting him to switch into... well, pretty much anything else. Like, looking at my Gallade, he could have switched in Sableye, he could have switched in Slowbro, he could have switched in Quagsire, maybe. So I figured, hey, why not switch into Koko on, like, any of those? Let's play some mind games early on. And the one he switches into is the Slowbro, which is like, hey, that worked out perfectly for me. So that's basically a free Volt switch. Do I go for Volt? No, I go for Grass Knot here, expecting the Quagsire to come in. But he goes into Amoonguss instead, which Amoonguss ends up being a pretty good switch into this monster, which may come into play later. Obviously, I got a Volt switch here. And what do I go into here? I think I go Moltres? Yes, I go Moltres, okay. As he Sludge Bombs me, and he gets the Poison. Which is like, okay, that's a problem. Now see, in this case, I would say regular Poison would be worse than Toxic Poison in this case, because if I wanted to, I could just switch out Moltres and reset the Toxic timer. But because he got the regular Poison, I'm losing more HP per turn that I stay in. Well, I'm losing more HP consistently, is what I meant to say. As I believe he will switch out here, because what kind of Amoonguss is going to stay in on Moltres. As I set up a Sunny Day, and then the Quagsire is here, he's like, oh wait, he set up a Sunny Day, oh that could mean Solar Beam shenanigans, which is exactly the move I go for, but he scouts that with the Protect, which is good prep on his part. And I don't remember what happens next. It's been a bit since we did this battle, actually a week ago as of the recording of this video. He goes into his Audino, and do I Solar Beam again? I probably do, yep. And then Moltres is running a little bit low on HP after this, so I'm like, let me get on up out of here. Or do I get on up out of here? No, I just go for a Fire Blast, as it does over half, and then he wishes, and I'm like, okay, now I need to switch. And I think at this point I go into my Gallade again. Yes, I do. As he would go for Protect, but of course, since there's nothing to protect, it's gonna fail. And my Sun stays up because I have the Heat Rock. So now I Mega Evolve, and I think I go for the knockoff here, which... the fact that he went into Slowbro is good news for me, because now it doesn't have that passive recovery, and so he has to rely on Regenerator for him to recover HP, or that or slack off. So I figure Koko's a pretty good switch here, as he goes into his Sableye, which ends up working out perfectly for me, because I am packing Dazzling Gleam, which I use here, and he takes a chunk from that, and what does he go for here, Recover? No, he just goes straight for Knock. What was I holding? Oh yeah, I was... And that actually reminded me of the last Pokemon he didn't bring, duh. The last Pokemon he didn't bring was Donphan, and this Tapu Koko was meant to be a lure to the Donphan. Because the Shuka berry, if y'all don't know, that's the ground resist berry, or the ground super effective reduction berry. And I was packing Grass Knot on the Tapu Koko, as you saw. So my plan was to be able to tank an Earthquake from, what's it called? Donphan, to be able to 2-hit KO it with Grass Knot. Because with the Shuka berry, the combination of Earthquake and Ice Shard would not have been able to kill my Tapu Koko. So that was a thing. And I believe he switches here as I click Dazzling Gleam again, as he goes into Amoonguss, but yeah, this Amoonguss ends up being a problem. Excuse me. And I believe I end up Volt Switching out here into my Nihilego. Or do I? Yeah, that sounds about right. So I can start getting in and start clicking buttons. And you can't see the shiny on here, but it's shiny, trust me. As that Sludge Bomb does pitiful damage, because Nihilego's got pretty good def. As he goes into Quagsire, as I believe I just click Sludge Wave here, because I figured it was my safest move. And now this move. This is where I ended up catching him off guard, because going into this battle, he didn't know that Nihilego learned Grass Knot. And so I was able to get rid of his Quagsire right there, and I think he was kind of tilted for the rest of this game, like, oh shoot, this thing gets Grass Knot? Okay, now he has to readjust, and as I get a speed boost, Nihilego's looking pretty nice here. Alright, then he goes into Slowbro, as I believe I just Grass Knot again, as he doubles out into this monster. So my Grass Knot's going to do 0. The fact that I did 3% is impressive to me. And yeah, I think I just click Sludge Wave here next, just to get some more damage off in this thing, and what does he do? He goes for another Sludge Bomb, and that's not doing anything. I think he switches to Audino next turn here, as I just keep spamming Sludge Wave. Yes, that's exactly what happens. As I get up the Sludge Wave, but I also get... Okay, no, that's next turn. Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. As I go for another Sludge Wave, and I actually get the 10% poison with Sludge Wave, which does come into play later in the game as he knocks off my Expert Belt, which is very rude of him. Nah, it actually didn't make a difference. But at this point, he has to switch his Audino out because he's low in poison. He gets in a Sableye, as I believe I Power Gem. Okay, yeah, that was my safest move to click. As I get up another Freesh, Boosh. And I believe now he goes into his Monkey. And he tries to whittle me down with some Fake Out, which, yeah, the fact that that does 22% to my resistant Pokemon, that just tells you guys how bad Nihilego's physical defense is, but at the same time, it's okay, because, yeah, I'll flinch, but I'm still faster, and he doesn't switch out here. He goes as I kill it with a Sludge Wave, because Ambipom is really frail, as I get one more Freesh Boosh up. And the Slowbro, I probably could have switched out here to, like, Tapu Koko or something, but I just wanted to get off some grass damage, but it doesn't kill him, and then he actually ends up killing me with Psychic. Which, Nihilego, excellent debut, picking up 3 kills. As I go into my Koko here, and knowing me, I probably just Volt Switch as he goes into this stupid thing. Okay, and the turns with this Amoonguss versus my Gallade, these are just so stupid. Because, wait, do I go? Yeah, I don't go for Zen Headbutt immediately. I believe I just keep clicking Knockoff. And at that point, it's going to be enough to kill the Slowbro in 2, so he just lets the Slowbro go down. Which I don't blame him for, because it couldn't really do much to the remaining Pokemon that I had. Okay, to this thing. Now I go for Zen Headbutt, and I miss. The battle could have been over right there if my Gallade wasn't blind as heck. So now what that allowed him to do is get off a free Toxic on me, and now my Gallade's on a timer. It's like, well, great. You couldn't have hit this one attack, could you? So he protects just to get off more damage, as I try for Zen Headbutt again and does nothing. Yeah, Akat's a style player, so he's going to use these Protect Toxic shenanigans on me. And, yeah, this could have been a lot worse. Wait, do I click? Yeah, okay, that's the one Zen Headbutt I actually end up landing. And then the Poison kills the Audino, and that's another kill for Nihilego, believe it or not. And now this thing comes in again. I think he protects first. No, I switched into Hydreigon to reset my Toxic timer. As he did go for the Protect. I figured I'd get off some damage here, as I just went for Draco because I wasn't carrying the Fire move, as he Toxics my Hydreigon, and I'm like, okay, well, he's going to protect or Synthesis or something, so obviously I have to switch out. So then I go back into my Gallade, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to end it, as he does go for Protect. Oh, screensaver, get out of here. And then as I click the Zen Headbutts, I miss again! Like, really? Gallade, Come on, man. All you had to do was land one Zen headbutt on this Samukus, and that was game. But instead, you decided to be blind today, and at that point, this point, okay, I think he goes for Sludge Bomb here. And after he protects, or does he protect here? Yeah. At this point, I'm just fed up and clicking Ice Punch, because that might kill. But then the Toxic kills my Gallade, and because my Gallade missed those 2 Zen headbutts, that made this battle a lot riskier on my end. Like, at this point, I could legitimately have lost, believe it or not. So I decided to go into my Moltres here because, and now here's where I ended up possibly losing. Okay, I went for the Fire Blast here. Fire Blast could easily have missed, which could have resulted in me losing this game. He could have gotten a double Protect here, which also could have resulted in me losing this game because Moltres would have gone down to the Toxic. Or this Poison, excuse me. But luckily for me, I don't miss the Fire Blast, he doesn't go for a double Protect, and we're able to pick up a 4-0 win. Now in all honesty, the scoreline does not reflect how Akat played in this game, because I thought he played very well. Like I said at the end, if a couple more RNG things could have happened, I could very well have lost this game. Because he was playing his Regenerator Core very well, switching between them. And the only misstep he made, in my opinion, was not knowing that Nihilego learned Grass Knot, but he knows that for the future, and that's actually a lesson to everybody in the SBL. Look at every move that your opponent's Pokemon can learn, so you don't get caught off guard like that. And I'm sure Akat himself will take that into account for the future. So yeah, we get back on track after losing to Arctis last week. And again, Moltres is the last Mon, or the final Mon standing out in the field like in week 1. And so yeah, that was our battle this week. Next week we are up against, we're up against Angel. So look forward to that, and we'll see you guys next time.